Welcome to another edition of Talkable San Leandro, series of community conversations with people in our community who are making a difference. I don't really care how you got here. If this was the next video following the cat video that you just watched, I don't care. We're glad you're here. I'm here with Flynn Crosby. This is the first in a series of business owners in San Leandro, and we're here to talk to Flynn about what they're doing at his business, which is called One Story Building. And we've invited him to our one-story building to talk about it. And so, Flynn, thank you very much for joining me.
Absolutely, Wayne. Thanks so much for having me.
So before we get into any awkward personal questions, I just want to ask you, tell us a little bit about One-Story Building and kind of what's going on there. It's at the corner of MacArthur and Lewis.
That's correct, MacArthur, Boulevard, and Lewis. And we're actually kind of a wide-ranging, open-ended project. We've got a lot of different things going on. For example, tomorrow, as you know, we're doing our Haunted House Museum of Adulting. It's open to the public, $10 at the door, and half of the proceeds actually go to Stepping Stones Growth Center at Davis Street.
Beautiful.
We're very happy to be working with them right from jump. We're going to be working with them a lot in the future. They might be getting some classroom space from us, and we are going to be doing some donation drives for them here and there. As well as things like that, we're also open to renting out for birthdays, wedding anniversaries. We've gotten a lot of baby shower requests. We're very open to all these kinds of things. Anything that someone wanted to use our space for, we're relatively open to. And so we have a full commercial kitchen. Right,
so it's a venue for people to rent out because how many people can you seat?
We can seat 100.
100, wow. So what really got my attention, I don't think there's an entrepreneur out there, including myself, who hasn't thought about the restaurant business, right?
Sure.
It's not an easy business, but there's just something about food that we're all engaged with, right? And so, but you have a commercial kitchen that you can allow people to kind of try kind of a pop-up restaurant, if you will.
That's right.
And so explain that concept a little bit to us.
Well, so for starters, our commercial kitchen is open to basically anybody's use. As long as you have an Alameda County food manager certificate, every caterer has one, a lot of restaurant folk have this. You can rent the kitchen for just $25 an hour, which is a below market rate.
Right.
And if you don't have this, we're open to renting with you. It's going to be a little more expensive. One of us has to supervise it the entire time.
Let me ask quickly, so how do you get that? I mean, because if someone is really interested in kind of pursuing the restaurant business and they want to kind of create a pop-up that they would do, my guess is you do this over and over again to kind of perfect what you're doing. How do you get that certificate so that you don't have to have one of you guys there to...
For starters, if you're going to start a restaurant or do pop-ups, I highly recommend you get this. It's going to allow you to do things all over the place. A lot of restaurants would require you to have this to work inside their restaurant. To get it, it's a 6-hour class at Alameda County. Not a big deal. There is a fee.
Sure.
I think it's around $65, but don't quote me on that.
All right.
But you know, a 6-hour class, $65, you have it. It gives you a much cheaper rate with us, and it helps you all over the place. Now, on top of that, if someone wanted to come in and rent our kitchen and rent our front of house, we're open to having any kind of pop-ups.
Right.
And anyone who does a pop-up with us is likely to end up on our list of caterers that we work with. So if someone wanted to rent the space for a birthday party, your name might be right next to our prices in terms of someone that they could be contacted for catering a birthday party.
And so your target market are entrepreneurs, I mean, and essentially any, I guess, organization who is looking for a space to have a party, to have a dinner, to essentially, because it's hard to find those places here in San Leandro, I know, because we've tried to identify places like that.
On top of that, we're also open to other things. We have pretty cheap rates on the rooms. It comes with just tables and chairs, $35 an hour for our smaller room. That allows people to do a lot of different things. Like if you wanted to have a class, this is the perfect place to have a class. We have dry erase boards on the walls,
I saw
so
that.
you can write on the walls and have a class setting. You could also have sort of like a corporate meeting or retreat if you wanted to have something like that with the trust falls and everything. We have a recycled tire floor, so if you wanted to do dance classes or yoga classes, we're the perfect space for that as well. So realistically, we're open to just about anything, anything someone wanted to try. And what we really want to do is be a part of the community and give the community spaces to try things, to experiment, to have fun, and to have some great parties.
That's beautiful. So let me, now the awkward question part. I always like to give our viewers an idea of who's coming to the community. Where did you grow up? And I know it's you and your mom in this business, Hillary?
Well, and my dad, he's just in a wheelchair, so he only comes down about 2 days a week. But he does a lot of work. We write a lot of copy together, he and I, and we'll do that mostly over the phone.
Right, right, right.
But so my mother was a CPA for 25 years here in the Bay Area. She had the largest nonprofit-only accounting firm in the Bay Area that does audits. She recently sold it in the last couple of years to her junior partners with her senior partner, and they both retired, and she was kind of looking for something new to do.
Right, right.
She was also an elected official in the California Democratic Party for 8 years, and has recently retired from that as well.
And you grew up in Oakland?
And I grew up in Fruitvale.
In the Fruitvale district,
In the
so,
Fruitvale
as
district.
I did. So
Yes.
there we go. We've got that in common.
Yeah.
A few years after you, or before you, I should say.
Absolutely.
Right, right.
You know.
But yeah.
And then we moved around a bit. We ended up in El Cerrito. That's where my parents live now, and I currently live in San Francisco.
Right.
We're looking to move to San Leandro because it's kind of a commute to get to our new business.
Right. Well, it's a nice community. You know that. You bought it. You're opening a business here, and that's lovely. So and if your parents live in El Cerrito still. You're in San Francisco, but you guys are thinking to come in here. Anything else that you'd like to kind of talk to San Leandro about, what you're doing?
Well, you know, the other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some plays and stuff like that. We're hoping to find some avant-garde ways to bring people into the space and provide entertainment. And in the next couple months, you're going to hear about a show that we're calling the San Leandro Sunday Sunset. And that's going to be essentially a staged version of The Daily Show.
Lovely.
I've produced it before in the past, and we're looking forward to producing it again here in San Leandro. It's going to bring news, local news specifically.
Wow.
We're hoping to invite city council members to do interviews and things like that. So if you're interested in getting into the San Leandro news community, and then also it'll be funny, so it'll be a good time.
Well, good. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the luck. I'm a small business person. I know the grind, but it's certainly worthwhile. It's full of difficulties, but successes. So good luck to you, and all the best.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.